Augie Bello, we're live.
Hello. What's
How you
going
doing,
on?
man? It's good to see
I'm
you.
doing good. Good to see
We
you too. What's going on?
not much. We have to kind of pretend that we weren't just talking for like 5 minutes. Pretend like everything was just immediately started right at the
Yeah.
thing.
I was actually, yeah, this is, we just started talking now, which is good.
Well, thank you so much, Augie. You're the absolute best for being here on the inaugural episode. Because you're going to be the test subject for all of the most likely errors that are going to happen in the streaming software. So you'll be here for it.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. So,
Let's see. I'm just gonna make sure all of the audio stuff is working. I'm gonna have a live chat going too, and hopefully people will ask some questions that I'm gonna read off to you. Sound good?
awesome. Sounds good to
Cool.
me.
What you been up to? Where are you right now?
So currently I'm in New York City. I just got back here and it's been different for sure. But you got to make the most of it and do what you can. So
No, I know exactly what you mean. You hear we're spiking now? The city's getting a COVID spike right now.
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's at a point now where like I don't even want to hear it anymore.
yeah.
Like
No,
it's
it's
always
it's annoying. Trust me, I know. But I
yeah.
think Manhattan, I don't think is too bad, but it's
Yeah.
Long Island is starting to get it, and so all of the part of Brooklyn that's connected to Long Island is starting to get kind of in a
That's
little
what I heard.
spike.
Anywhere near you?
No, actually, because we're closer to Manhattan than we are to the island, so I think we're pretty good.
That's
You
good.
know what I didn't do? I didn't turn my air conditioner on, so everyone's just listening to every time I talk and the gate on my mic turns on. There's just the air conditioner running in the background. Give me 1 second. One
I don't
second.
hear it at all.
You don't hear it, really? Wait 1 second. There we go. I also have my coffee machine in the back there. I don't know if you can see it, Augie, but there's a coffee machine right there. So I'm gonna. If you were
Wow.
here, if I had the technology to do a full in-person stream instead of over Zoom, you would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
having coffee with me right now, which would be
Wow.
nice, you
Well,
know.
hey, next time we'll make this like every couple days. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to put the
What?
link on my story really quickly.
Do it. I'm just gonna talk to the audience
All
that
right, you
may
talk
or
to the
not may not
audience.
be here. I'm not totally sure.
That's
Hey
all
everyone,
cool.
how's it going? Thank you so much. Okay, we got Carl Taylor the second. Yes,
All right.
Quad family says yo. Nolan Gardner, hey homies. Libby Spriggs, and she said Nolan. My girlfriend is
Hey
excited that
guys,
Nolan is in the
I'm
chat.
live with Scotty Madonia right now on his YouTube channel. So swipe up on the story to watch it. We're gonna be talking about everything, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Everyone is in the chat. Please let me know if you're hearing and seeing everything correctly, because I've done. You know, this is
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of tests. I'm the breakfast guy from yesterday. Oh yeah, Carl Taylor. Wait, real quick, Carl. I'm gonna get back to you in 1 second, Augie. I just
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of tests to make sure all this stuff works, you know. But at some point, you know, when you're doing it for real, it always goes differently than
Of
when you're
course.
practiced. So we'll see. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start real quick because Carl Taylor sent me a message on Instagram, and I want to make sure I read it correctly. Did I take a screenshot of it? What did I do for it? Because it was a good question, and I had my roommate Valerio answer it too, and he said when he's a guest, then he'll answer it. But
There you go.
I can't give his answer yet. Okay, wait 1 second. Let me test this thing out. Okay,
All right, I'm
So-
uploading this story right now. So
cool. Get some.
of course, I didn't realize I didn't put the swipe up link on the first
I can't.
story.
I can't put the swipe up link at all. I don't have
that's right.
that ability.
That's right. So
Good, or is this?
yes,
No, you're good. Take your time. We're not.
I'm gonna go one more time. I'm gonna go live, just so
Okay.
that people can actually swipe up now.
No,
You know
I
what I'm
get you.
saying?
I'm gonna keep the
Oh, wait.
camera on you, so it's behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Leave it on. Yeah, this is some
Yeah.
behind the scenes right here. Hope you guys are enjoying. Okay, we'll do it now.
Do it. I'll be quiet.
It's like that the whatever his name is. What's up, guys? I just realized there was no link in my story. So I'm gonna wait for a couple of you guys. I just got a notification. Hey, what's up, Joey? What's up, guys? I just realized that I just put the swipe up link in my story now. So if you want to watch me do a live pod stream with a pod stream,
Pot stream.
a pod stream. I'm doing a live podcast. We're streaming on YouTube right now with my friend Scotty Madonia. and
Hi.
I'd love to see you guys there. So swipe up on my latest story and join that live stream. So anyone who joined this, just join that one. Any questions you type, we'll answer, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'd love to see you guys there. Swipe up on my story.
You know, it's a,
Okay.
you know, it's a good mark of any live stream where the first 30 minutes are just us trying to A, figure out if the audio is working, and
I
B,
know,
get other people to watch it.
dude. Now that it's actually the link is on my story, we should be able to get more people, which is good.
Cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, I did the link in the bio thing, but that was just for the reminder. I think YouTube should transfer it to the new link. Yeah, of course they do.
Okay.
That wouldn't make any
Awesome.
sense if they didn't, right?
I don't think so. I don't think it would make any sense.
Okay, here, I'm going to ask you some questions in general,
Let's
but
do it.
I want to knock out. There's a question I do really want to knock out because, like I said, Carl Taylor asked me this yesterday, and it got me thinking, and I think you'll like this one. Carl says, if you wake up at 7 p.m. and eat, are you eating breakfast or are you eating dinner?
What a great question. You're eating dinner.
That's what yeah, I think breakfast is not breakfast is objective. It's a time thing.
No, yeah.
It's
Think about it.
not it's not relative.
No, yeah. People call it brunch just because they're eating breakfast at around like 12.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on I guess it depends on the food you're eating too, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm down for cereal for dessert and stuff. So I mess it
That's
all up.
true. I will
So
sometimes I have sometimes like I'll wake up early and I'll eat dinner food, like heat it up, and then I'll eat something like cereal for dinner.
yeah,
So,
well, there you
am I
go.
eating breakfast just because I was up all day? Is the cereal for dinner now breakfast
I think it's all a time thing. It has nothing to do with the content of the food or the content of the food doesn't matter.
at all? You don't think so?
I think it's totally weird to eat pasta in the morning for breakfast.
Isn't that what your roommate does? Don't you live with a person who does?
I might, maybe I do, and I call him out. Don't worry, I make sure he knows.
Is he home right now?
Yeah, he's home. He
Oh
probably
no.
is. He's probably eating like some eggs because it's like almost dinner time.
Shout out Martin. Martin's the homie. Martin's the
Yeah,
greatest.
dude. Martin's the best roommate ever. He's my roommate, and his Instagram is mshapmusic, but he plays the piano amazing, plays the trumpet amazing, plays the trombone amazing. He's starting to get into producing. He's just one of those guys who's kind of scary and like better than you at anything that you think you're good at.
Wait, is Martin getting into producing? Because he's already
He just started. So the only thing that Martin is pitiful at is video games.
pitiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
like
mean that's
if I'm-
kind of he beats me though. It's Smash. Beats me at Smash.
yeah. Well, you're just worse.
That's true.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. He's pitiful, and I'm absolutely abysmal.
No, the thing with Martin is better than me at like everything. So to feel better about myself after he's better than me at everything, I'll play a game of Super Smash Brothers with him, and I'll just demolish him
To make
so
him
that
feel
I feel
bad.
better. Yeah, so that I feel better about myself. It's a weird complex, I guess.
You know, over what was it? Summer break, I guess. Yeah. I'm having trouble keeping track of time these days.
I
But
know.
over summer break, I bought a Switch, which was
Yeah.
nearly impossible. I had like some extra money. I was like, you know what? Every time I have cash, I always buy, like audio equipment, which is
course.
fun, of course. But I was like, I want to do something that's just stupid fun,
Yep.
And so I was like, I'm gonna buy a Switch, and then I took
you
like
go.
a week to do it because getting a Switch in summer of 2020 is basically impossible. And I was like, here's the two things. I can play Animal Crossing and I can play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then since Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is kind of similar to Melee in a lot of ways, not every, but it does have some similarities, I think. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
Like-
for
like
sure.
kind of-
I still beat people in that game too.
Well, yeah. So that's how you know it's like Melee if you can beat them.
if I
Well,
could
my
beat
thing was, I was going to try to learn. I'm going to try to get really good at it. And I did. And then I got like what I thought was really good. And then I was beating Martin. You and I played. And like there was like, I mean, you were playing with random characters, so that weakened you a bunch, but I was doing okay.
Yeah.
And then one day Martin comes over and beats me like 5 times, and I can't play it all since. Like every time I play it, it's ungodly awful.
You have like PTSD to the times
That's
he
exactly
like beat you.
Post smash traumatic disorder.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick, Augie.
Yeah,
'cause
let's see.
we got some. Let's see. Augie's volume is much quieter. Uh-oh, that's not good. Let's do that.
I got
Let's
you guys.
turn that gain up.
Yeah, I just upped my gain. Is that better?
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah. That's not talking. I'm talking. I'm talking. Talking.
I can let
talking.
me cut me down a little bit. That looks about
Okay.
even. Yeah, that looks about good.
That looks good.
Okay. Okay, you know, it's the first stream. You gotta have some stuff happen.
Gotta have some different issues.
Okay, if everyone thinks it sounds better now, let me know. And if it doesn't sound better, then also let me know. But that will make me feel bad about myself, so don't say it. Carl says it sounds better. Carl's been here
Yay.
since the beginning.
Shout out to
Okay.
Carl.
Oh, shout out to Okamobach. I can't pronounce that. My buddy Isaac, one of the best people.
I met
can't-
Isaac, right?
No,
or
I
no?
don't think you. No, Isaac has not come here yet. But
Okay.
Isaac is incredible, and I can't pronounce his username because I don't know how. Okay, so we have a question that I'm gonna put their questions above mine right now because I think
Yeah, no
they're
problem.
probably gonna end up being better. But okay, so let's see. We got Augie. What's the name of the first piece of the Sasquatch video collab?
The first piece in the Sasquatch video collab. I gotta jump back for that one right there. By the way, on that topic, that video was shot by none other than Mr. Scotty Madonia over here.
Is it bad that I forgot? Like I'm not even kidding. For a second, I was like, "What? Who made that video?" It was me. Well, not me. I didn't make it. I just stood there and held a rental camera for like 20 minutes.
Oh, the first song? You're talking about this one. Well, that song is not even that was just something that we decided to make up on the spot. So I was like, oh, I was on the phone, just walking and talking to Caroline, who knows I don't like shrimp scampi. and all of a sudden I saw the Sasquatch playing in Central Park, which was very surprising because you wouldn't think that you'd see a Sasquatch in New York City. It's very rare.
Yeah.
And and I heard him playing, and his playing inspired my playing, which inspired him to leave from the bushes and play with me, which was nice.
Yes. There's nothing like playing with it. It's a Sasquatch playing with you.
Yeah, he was very gentle, surprisingly, but
Oh my god.
but yeah, no, it was he that's just all improvised. He made up his part, I made up my part, and we combined them, parts of the wilderness, part of the city, and that's what you get. A little Sasquatchitation situation.
That's a great answer.
Terrible answer.
Isaac, I know you can see the cursor on the screen. OBS is not the greatest software when it comes to certain things. Please don't find me. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. If anyone has questions, please put them in the chat. Out in the wild is a random legend. If anyone has questions, put them in the chat. I'm checking right now. YouTube's giving me some sass. They're telling me that. Let's see. What are they telling me? I like how I did this so many times, and they were like, "Oh, it's perfect. Everything's great." Then I go for real one time, and they're like, every 2 minutes, they're like, "Hey, there's an error with your frame rate."
Oh,
So
gosh.
keyframes are not being sent often enough, which will cause buffering.
Damn.
Okay, I don't know why they're telling me that, but we'll see. Okay, you know what? Let me make sure this isn't gonna like ruin everything because that would not be great.
No, it seems like it's doing good.
Yeah,
I'm
does
watching
it
the
have?
live stream?
You got it up?
Yeah,
I'm seeing it. It looks fine to me. So you know what? I'm just gonna say for today, we're just gonna say it's fine. Okay, let's get into it for real.
Let's do
Augie
it.
Bello, saxophone extraordinaire, Instagram extraordinaire.
It's all computer.
Okay, so we've known each other for what, like 2 years,
That's
something like that?
two
Almost
years
two
now.
years.
Yeah, 2 years.
That's unbelievable to me that it's been that long. Just because
Yeah,
it
hasn't
feels
it?
like yesterday. Because it was like February or April, February or March of 2019. Dear God,
Yeah,
how much time has passed?
yeah, dude, it's crazy.
It's
But yeah,
unbelievable.
it's been that long.
But we don't.
And
What? What were you gonna say?
no, what were you gonna say? Go for
Well, I
it.
was gonna say we don't talk about much. Like, I mean, we kind of like shoot the shit, but we don't go in a lot about what we were doing before we met and before school and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was gonna ask this because I genuinely don't know, and
yeah,
I feel like I know this about a lot of like I know this about my roommate, of course, and about my other musical friends, but we haven't talked about
yeah,
like your origin as a musician.
yeah.
What was it that got you into music? Was it sax? Was sax your first instrument?
No, so saxophone was not my first instrument. But basically the story goes that my when I was uh I guess when I was 5 or so, or I might have even been 4. When I was 4, my sister started to take piano lessons, and I saw, she'd come home, she'd practice for a bit, and we'd go to my grandparents' house, and they would, uh, sit around the piano and listen to my sister play the piano, and it was
Hmm.
something simple. It was like, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and just the fact that I saw that they got excited and that they would come over and you could almost change. I would see their mood change. If they were upset, my sister would play a little piano and they'd be like so excited, even if
Hmm.
it was, how grandparents are.
Yeah.
They get all like, "Oh my god!" But that just excited me. So, I asked my parents. I said, and my grandpa actually. I asked if I could start taking piano lessons because I really, really wanted to learn. So when I was 5, my family started to get me private piano lessons, and I have been playing like classical piano, and now I'm getting into some more like popish stuff since I was 5. And at the age of 7, I learned that my grandpa had played the saxophone, and my grandpa um, had his own wedding band. He put himself through college with that wedding band, and he had 2 saxophones just laying around in his house that he hadn't been, playing for a while. So at age 7, I was like, "Mom, Dad, like, I really want to learn the saxophone, and I could play my grandpa's saxophone."
Hmm.
And they were like, when I spoke to my grandpa about it, I said, "Grandpa, I really want to learn the saxophone." He said, "That's great." He said, "But if you're going to learn the saxophone, start off with the clarinet, because if you are playing woodwinds or you are uh, um, hired for like a Broadway pit or for any type of recording session, they expect you to be able to play the clarinet, the saxophone, and the flute,
That's where the money is too. All the doubling.
all the doubling." Yeah. So if you could hire me and record 5, different instruments, then
Hmm.
then that's a lot better. So at age 7, he was like, "Learn the clarinet first," which he also had a clarinet. So I learned on his clarinet, which I've still been playing since 7. And then at age 11, I started to play the alto saxophone. And when I say started to play, in 7th grade, I started receiving lessons from a private teacher. Her name's Peggy Ho. Her name actually recently changed because she got married, but she was a great, great, great teacher.
Hmm.
My first piano teacher was this lady, Ellen Goldhaber. She lives in Florida now. She's an incredible teacher. Same thing. These people set the foundation for me. So without them, I wouldn't have known as much about theory, and I would have used my ear more, which is great to use your ear, but using your ear plus having the theory knowledge is what sets people apart. Um, and then so at age 11, I started taking lessons with for saxophone with this guy. His name is Scott Hofling.
Hmm.
Great saxophone player, and was a great teacher for tons of years. Age, I don't know, like 16, I started to play the tenor saxophone, and I started taking lessons with my high school band teacher, who was Larry Baller, and he's one of like anyone who listens to who checks him out, like says like, "Oh, I clearly know that you took lessons from him and that you looked up to him because he sounds really, really similar to me, which is cool.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, I would say basically from, even from like a young age of like when I was in elementary school, I knew, like, you could see my yearbooks. I'm saying like my goal is to be like a musician and an entertainer.
Hmm.
And so ever since those young ages and all those private lessons, which I'm so thankful to my family for almost investing in me.
It
Because
is 100%.
yeah, I mean, because without those private lessons, or without like, I mean, they saw I had a drive, of course. That's like the most important thing. Without any drive, someone could tell you all day, oh, you should work on this and it'll make you amazing. If you have no drive, then who cares? You
Hmm.
could have the best teachers in the world. So, but I had a combo. I had a drive that like I wanted to learn and I wanted to like perform. And then I had some great teachers who were always pushing me. Like, I would show up for a lesson, and if I wasn't prepared, there was no like, oh, like, don't worry, honey, next week. It was like you didn't work on this type of like, you didn't work on this, and like like I know you didn't work on it. So it
Yeah.
was the type of like, and I loved them. They were the sweetest people. But the greatest thing for me was to have those people who were honest, because without that honesty, I could coast along and just do fine.
Yeah.
But
But
with
never really
their,
get that great.
exactly. But with their honesty, it was like, we know that you're capable of much more, so we're not gonna just let you slide by this. And and then same with that. My piano teacher, she moved unfortunately when I was like 15 or 16. She moved to Florida, and I got a new piano teacher. Her name was Nancy Deutsch.
Hmm.
She was an amazing, amazing teacher, and we were studying more classical music. And she was the same thing. I'd show up for a lesson if I hadn't worked on you know, what she had assigned me. It was like you didn't work on that, and I
Was it
was
like
like,
was it like
yeah.
the kind of thing where it was like that light, like I know you're lying to me kind of a thing, or did you ever have anyone that was genuinely kind of mean about it?
No, I mean, I've seen like, this is the thing. They didn't have to. They weren't even mean about it. They didn't have to be, but it was just the feeling that,
Like you
first of
disappoint
all,
them.
I disappointed them. That's number one. Number two is my family is paying, you know, for them to teach me, right?
Yeah, there's
And
guilt. There's guilt involved.
there's so much guilt involved, because it's like, one, I didn't do anything this person told me to do, right?
Hmm.
And that's already on me. I feel bad. Two, I show up and they know I did nothing. That's even worse.
So it's like a double-edged sword of just feeling bad
Exactly.
about yourself and then
Yep.
someone making you feel bad about yourself.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
three is like, my family like is investing in me and like providing me with resources that'll allow me to get better. And I'm almost taking advantage of that because I know I'm going to get it next week, even if I don't practice. And it's like that was just an awful feeling. And the other feeling of like, I know I could have had this perfect this week. So I to be frank, I didn't do that much. Every once in a while, if I'd not practice, it would feel bad. But what that did, when the teacher would tell me, you didn't practice this, you didn't work on this, what that did for me was it put a fire under my butt, we'll say. It put a fire under my
You can.
butt.
I mean, it's up to you. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be clean here,
No,
but
no,
it's
no,
up to
no, no,
you.
no. Yeah. But it ignited a fire that, like, anytime that this teacher sees me, or anytime that I come for a lesson, I'm going
Hmm.
to show them that, even if they had any doubts, that I'm going to do it better than they thought I could
Yeah.
have done it. So it was always kind of like, that was always my drive in life, is like, people who say you can't, show them that you could do it beyond what they, what their top thought of what you could do is. So that
I always
was,
think of like the people who tell you you can't, prove them wrong, and then whenever there are people who think that you can, I'm always like, what the hell's wrong with you?
it's like, huh? Is this person being dishonest with me?
Yeah. Have you ever had those times where there's like, you'll talk to some people and they're like, this person thinks I can't do this, which means I should. And then there's the times where people say, you can definitely do this. And you go, maybe I should rethink what I'm doing. Because this person's giving me that advice.
Yeah, there's even the people who tell like think about like your parents or someone or even someone like you love. They go like this. They go, well, why don't you do this? And in your head, 100% you should do exactly what they're saying. But the fact that they told
They're
you
saying it, yeah. There's
and then you go like this. Well, because that's not the best way. And you could be sitting there like, well, that's definitely the best way. That's not the best way.
Yeah, I'm
you
smarter.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about because there are times where I feel that it's kind of like that natural instinct sometimes to just be against what someone is saying, no matter what it is. Which I think
just be combative.
Which, as someone, as musicians, if I can call myself that, is as musicians, you kind of have to have that. If you don't have that instinct to just say, you know what, screw you, you're wrong, I'm right, I'm gonna make $1 million playing this instrument. If you're probably being unreasonable, but if you don't have that, you'll never prove them wrong. You kind of have to be wrong for a really long time just to have the opportunity to actually be right.
Well, yeah, I mean that's honestly one of the biggest things is like tons of people when I was going into college for music or like even while I was in school for music, they would be like they would always say things like, "Oh, so what are you going to do though once you're like how are you going to make money? How are you going to support yourself with that? Like now what? Like after college, now what?" And I'm like, well, during college, I realized that this is a career where I mean, like many others, I'll say, but it's a career where like you can't just go to school, do all the classwork, and then go home and like play Xbox all day and like be like, oh, I did my classwork, like I'm good to go. It's the type of career where like you do your homework, right, which helps you become a better musician, and then you got to take the time to figure out how the hell do I show everyone in the world that I'm now a better musician. That's how I feel every day. Exactly. I mean, that's like the main part that a lot of people kind of miss out on, which is sad because right now is the time when, it's so available to us. So, I just think that the biggest thing is like taking time to determine what the market is, where you're different from other people in that market, and then how do I show people how do I bring something to the table? Here's the biggest thing. How do I bring something to the table that they never knew that they wanted, but now that they have it, they feel like they can't live without it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I feel that thing like I have a 2 semesters left of college, so a year. And I feel that all the time where I'm like, it's not like when I think of what I have to do in a day, I have this thing where I can't think of it like I'm starting at 0 and I have to do my homework and then I have to do my personal work. The way my brain frames it, which sucks because it's stressful as all hell, is that my homework is below 0. Like I have to do the homework just to get to 0. And then I can actually do work.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Because as much as it's, of course, super important, especially when you're paying for an education, it's super important to like actually do that work, and get your money's worth. But like that is in this field, that's the minimum. Like I know a bunch of people who go to school and they practice and they do their schoolwork and they sound great, but if you're not spending the same amount of time like finding a way to differentiate yourself and show people, then you're going to have a hard, like you got to be ready to come out of school a couple of years after getting into school. You got to have like a game plan. But that's been the biggest thing is like just spend the time to figure out, what can I do? And whenever someone asks me, oh, well, you graduated from music school. There's nothing to do. You can't.
They're all from Long Island.
They're all from Long Island.
Every person, you could be in China and they'd have a Long Island accent.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know why you go to school for music, because even if you go to school for music, what are you going to do? Now you have a piece of toilet paper. You might as well wipe yourself with that degree. I'll tell you that. Like everyone thinks they know. But here's the thing. There is so many options, especially for us right now. Like,
Yeah.
everyone will be like, oh, well, so many musicians that I talk to, oh, like, you can't really sell records anymore. And like streaming, like they don't pay you. And like, it's just, there's like barely any market anymore. But like, those are the people who are ignoring the fact that, okay, streaming definitely gets rid of a ton of B, and maybe release some transcriptions of what you're doing. Maybe get a brand deal and work on a mouthpiece. There's so many ways to grow yourself now.
People said now, basically but there are no gigs because most of the places aren't open. And when they do open, especially in New York City, they're going to be open at 25%, and you can't sell alcohol if you're a concert venue, all these new like temporary laws for COVID. But there's this like, it's awful, but it's because when times get really hard, that's always when the coolest stuff comes out. It's like why the greatest movies are made on a low budget, because you have to get creative when you're, going down the crapper. And that's where we are right now. And I'm excited to see what music is going to do, because music can't go away, because it's one of those things where people will always want to listen to music, and they'll always want to listen to something new. People are they're not going to be able to live without listening to new music. But how are we going to get it? What's it going to sound like? And are we going to be able to see it live? And is the generation, like our kids born tomorrow who grow up listening to music on Zoom as a concert or watching an NBA game, are those kids gonna think, oh man, I wish I could see this in person? Or are they just gonna be like, oh yeah, that's just how I grew up. I grew up watching it on Zoom. And are we gonna be like these old fogies who are like, oh, you can't enjoy music that way, it's online? The Long Island accent comes in, and you're just like, I can't believe this. Zoom concert?
Oh, this is a load of bologna, I'll tell you that. There's no frequencies, and I can't even hear. It's just not the same. I can't touch John Bon Jovi, then why am I here?
If I can't put my hands on Bruce Springsteen for 3.5 hours, which is how long he performs. That's what they always say about Bruce Springsteen. You ever notice? Have you ever heard anyone talk about Bruce Springsteen where the first thing they say is it's always, "Oh yeah, he played for like 4 hours." It's never like, "Oh, Bruce Springsteen, he was great." I mean, that's what they always say after. Like, he was fantastic, because apparently he's like one of the best live performers ever. I've never actually seen him live, but and who knows if I will now. But but that's the first thing everyone always says. It's like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, I went to go see this Bruce Springsteen concert. He played for like 5 hours. And that's, this is just a side note that I noticed, but that's pretty incredible, because that's another thing about music that's like, sometimes you go to see a show and you pay $50 and they play for an hour and you leave and you're like, why did I just spend 50? Because, you spend 30 and then you got a drink minimum. And next thing you spend $100 at a bar even for like an hour. Then there's guys like Springsteen who you pay. I mean, I'm sure people are paying thousands, but I think you can get like Bruce Springsteen tickets for under $100 for like, just like general admission seats. And he's playing for 5 hours. It's one of those things where it's like, will that kind of thing die off now? Because he's so into putting his all into all of his shows that is it possible for him to go away and everyone be okay with it? I could totally see people being like, hey, I don't really want to go see music at a bar. Because, you pay $60, you see 45 minutes of music, and then you leave and you didn't know any of the songs. But I don't know if I can see just yet someone at his every penny. I don't know. I can't decide if that's going to go away, because it really just becomes, will the norm outweigh the demand? Like, will we get so used to not seeing live concerts that people are just going to be like, it's fine? Or will we have not seen them for so long that we'll start to get antsy, and then it'll come back in some new way that's even greater? I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about.
One thing that I'm hoping is that we still get a bunch of live concerts. So after this, once we get a vaccine and stuff, that we still do live concerts. But I think one really cool, interesting thing is people are learning and figuring out how to live stream, and how to live stream their own concerts. So I'm thinking for a lot of groups, like we're going to start seeing, like, maybe they do a full tour And then they have like one night, which is the live streamed night of the tour. And anyone who missed them, any cities that they didn't go to, they could tune in and see a full live stream performance of what they would have seen if they were able to come to that tour. So I think that there's a huge potential after, hopefully, touring will start up again. But I think that there's a huge potential in adding a live streamed night or even like your biggest night on the tour, also live stream it and make that available. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think people could do it nowadays, especially since technology is so much more readily available and small. You can carry things easily. That you could do, even if it was just like get a decent board mix, send it to, like I'm using OBS right now. A major concert isn't going to do that, but there's a bunch of software you could run it off of a high-powered laptop or a small desktop. Yeah. And one night a week, have a mobile rig that you pull in, take audio, have your cameras. I think that'd be a great way to experience a show, because you could, especially if you could pay less and just be like, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna watch. It's like watching sports. Sometimes you watch them in person, sometimes you watch them on the TV.
100%. That and that's I think gonna be a great addition. So, if there's one there's just finding the little positives, and I think that that's gonna be a big thing. Actually, really quickly, I gotta plug in my computer because, of course, I forgot to. Give me a second.
You're good, because I'm actually, YouTube is being very vibey right now. Yeah, they're not being very nice. Everyone in the comments, please let me know how the stuff is coming. Yeah, JS Quad family, I am 100% gonna ask your questions. I've been seeing them. I'm listening to Augie and also making sure that the stream is not crashing, because that is a major concern of mine. And YouTube has been sending me all this stuff. They're like, your stream status is poor, and I'm like, don't know how to fix that.
It's so upset with you.
So we're gonna make sure that let's see, change stream. Okay, everyone, please let me know in the comments if you're seeing everything.
My man Caden is watching. He says everything is good. By the way, guys, check out Caden. I think it's La Valley. I mean, that's how you would spell it. But he's a great saxophone player. And he's we actually did a video together a while ago. But a really good kid, great saxophone player, and check out his page. He's here in the comments right now. So, but everything's looking good from.
Yeah, I think people are.
But he's a great saxophone
Oh,
player.
what am I hearing? Am I hearing your phone?
You're hearing yourself.
Oh, you're on there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you seeing everything? Everything look good to you?
Yeah, everything looks good.
I just dropped the bit rate. See, this is the kind of stuff that always annoys me. Like I said, I don't think we were live yet. I think we were just talking, but how it doesn't matter how many times you practice something, because as soon as you do it for real, it's gonna go wrong.
Yep. And but that's the biggest, that's the hugest thing, is like you have to have the nerve to start it and do it and mess it in life.
We're gonna use my bad internet streaming quality as a metaphor.
Here you go. Ready?
Do it right now.
In school, you get the lesson first and then the test. In life, you get the test first and then the lesson. You know what I'm saying? So that was gorgeous. Right now, you're figuring out, you're doing it, and you find all the kinks, and then you do it even better the next time, and the next time, and the next time. That's just how it works.
That's a great point. Sorry, I'm while you were saying that, I was looking at I have like a little color indicator on it was on OBS and it's on YouTube, and it just went to red, and I was like, I don't even know if anyone can see this. Okay, I'm gonna give you an answer or a question in the in the chat, so that way you can talk while I make sure that everything is working. So basically, you host the show.
All right, sounds good.
And we're gonna make it your responsibility for just like 2 minutes. Okay, so let me go back, because JS Quad family had some questions that I completely missed for like 20 minutes, and I want to make sure I saw them, but I wasn't giving them to you. So here we go. I think this is the first one. They ask, was there music theory going on in your head while you were improvising with the Sasquatch?
No. So I think that the greatest place to try to get to is a place where you know the theory, um, but mainly you're using your ears. So um, when it comes to like standards and stuff and learning how to play different tunes and stuff and even different songs, you want to spend the time to learn, the chord tones, um, approach notes for each chord tone, but you want to get to a point where like you don't even really have to think of the chords. It's just you hear what's coming next and you do know it. So that's when I feel like you're most fluent with your playing, is when you've spent the time to go over it and to learn. But you also once you're improvising, you don't have to really be thinking too hard, because the harder you think, the more blips you're going to have in your playing. So if you're thinking really hard, oh damn, what's the next chord, you're going to, in your brain, you're going to have to stop for a second and be like, let me think. C, E, okay, E, that translates onto the horn already. So you're already at a point where it just doesn't sound, you might have to stop playing. It might not be as fluent. So the greatest thing to do is to learn the chords and to go over, the chord tones and everything, and get to a point where it's just muscle memory. Like, if someone says, C, and you want to pull out the 5, okay, it's G, no problem. I think that's, where you should strive to get in your playing. And that takes years of time. And there's so many elements that you could add on to that. But yeah, I think the times when I play the best and when like the coolest stuff comes out is when I'm not even like, I don't have to think theory. I just think, what would sound cool here? What could I do next that would like differ, and what different sound can I get knowing the chord? So it's all about just knowing it and having it stored here and not having to think too hard about it, because thinking hard translates, unfortunately.
That's 100% true. I've noticed I'm the best at everything I do when I'm just absolutely barely thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, not when it's like, do the preemptive thinking. Think about it before you do it, and then once you get there, then it just becomes natural, which is not an eye-opening opinion. A million
Yep.
people say that.
Yeah. Yep.
My roommate is texting me to stop moving my mouse because he can see it. Yes, Valerio, I know you can see my mouse. Don't really know. See, here's the thing. I'm worried the stream. See, Isaac told me early on, and if Valerio were watching, he would have known that. But I'm worried about the stream completely crashing, and I'm not really thinking about the mouse. See, the way I'm doing it is you're running in a window, and I have a screen capture on that window.
Yeah.
But there's something weird about this software that when it captures your window, it has two different algorithms, and the only algorithm that will work can't hide the cursor. So for today, everyone, you're gonna have.
That's bothering Isaac.
Yeah, Okama Box not very happy, and Valerio, but Valerio is just gonna be mean about it in person, I bet. I'm just kidding, Valerio. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna give you some more. I'm gonna read you more stuff off the chat.
Sure.
Katie Solomon says, Augie, this is Jude. You are the coolest.
Oh, give a huge shout out to Jude. My man, Jude. I met Jude actually last week in Atlanta. And I hear he's an incredible musician. And yeah, I was playing a benefit concert last week in Atlanta with my friend Teddy Swims. And big shout out to Jude, to Miles, Colt, Landon, the whole family. Shout out to all you guys. I can't wait to see you guys again. Hopefully I'll be back in Atlanta in a couple weeks for some more shoots, some more video shoots and stuff.
How did you get hooked up with Teddy? Because you guys are making some like great stuff. And
Thank you.
I knew you when it did it, but I don't know like the whole thing. How'd you get hooked up with him? Because Teddy's incredible.
Yeah, so basically it happened exactly a year ago. I'm sitting on my bed, and I on my YouTube recommended comes this video of Teddy. It says Teddy Swims can't make you love me, and I saw this guy, right, and he's a guy with a big beard and face tattoos. So I see this video of this guy, and and before I click on it, I'm like, man, this guy has to be either like insanely good or like just terrible.
Just absolutely terrible.
I was like, there's no
What
way.
What an optimistic person you are. That's how your brain goes. Your brain goes, this guy, he can't just be like, you can't just be like, oh, this guy's okay. He's either
No.
absolutely terrible or he's fantastic.
Exactly. So that's just how I thought, because I saw this guy and I was like, he has such like a unique look, and I was like, someone like this is only amazing or just has no like. So I clicked this video, and like somehow my thought of amazing was like pushed over, and it was like he was so beyond amazing. So I was like I just spent like the rest of the day like checking out any other video he had. And at that point I said, you know what, like I should just, reach out to him on Instagram, and just see, because I'd never seen him playing with any horn players. So I sent him a DM on Instagram. Hey man, I just saw some of your videos. You sound absolutely incredible. If you ever need a horn player, please let me know. And a couple days later, I got a DM back from Teddy, and Teddy was like, hey man, you're just in time. We've been looking to get horns on our stuff, and I'm going to send you some stuff over right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, that's awesome. This guy's like, he's like the type of artist that like I dream of working with.
Yeah. It's exactly, he's right up your alley in terms of, well, A, how good he is.
Yeah.
And what he's good at.
Yeah.
He's your style 100%.
Yeah. And so, Corona.
God bless you. It's okay. I have a tissue right here because I knew my nose would start running, and so my idea was, and I would just hope that it would do it when you were talking, and I could just switch to your little camera. Yeah, and just like off screen, just like, you son of a,
But am I gonna sneeze again? No, I'm not. But in October he goes, can I send you some stuff to lay on? Need it all the time, actually. So I was like, wow, this is perfect. So
yeah.
He sent me over a couple tracks for me to record over, and in the time when I'm recording over them, he sent me this other text, which I think is really funny. It said, so get this, we're working on this song and about to put some vocals on it to send to you to lay some sax on it. And I told my bassist, I got this amazing sax player that I want to get on it that hit me up yesterday. And and no shit, he said, you should reach out to this guy, and pulled up a video of you on Instagram. And I was like, what? That's literally the guy I was talking to. So
that's incredible.
So
that is that's a once in a quadrillion moment.
Exactly. So basically for me, that meant like, wow, this is basically like just meant to, it was like destiny.
It's meant to be.
And then a couple weeks later, Teddy was like, hey, I'm coming to New York. Some like labels had seen him, and they wanted to fly him out to New York to meet with him and talk about, possibly signing him. And so it was his first time in New York a couple of weeks after he had sent me music in October. And he's like, hey, I'd love to meet up with you and hang out. And this was like the turning point in which I realized this wasn't just someone that like I was going to work with. This was someone that was going to become like one of my best friends. Yeah. Like there's times when like you meet someone who like sounds great and like has a lot of things together, and like your initial reaction is like, oh, I want to be friends with this person. And like, maybe you ignore some of their traits. Teddy is the complete opposite of that. Like, he's like someone who kills the singing. He's incredible. But more importantly than that, he's just such a caring guy. Like, he wants to give everyone the world. He's always like selfless. Like he did a benefit for his keyboard player, unfortunately passed away about a month ago. And he threw this huge benefit concert to help the family. And he's just one of those guys who it's like it's hard not to love him. Like, he's just the nicest guy. So when we hung out in New York, we just had the greatest time. I showed him some of the different jazz bars and different jam sessions, and we got to play together for a while. And from that moment on, it's been just like, honestly, just like a dream come true. Like he was recently signed to Warner, and he just dropped his first single, "Broke," which I played some background saxophone on. And
Fantastic song.
really
Fantastic
awesome.
song. Even better horn parts.
No, yeah, I mean, it's honestly, working with him has just been like a dream come true, and I'm so happy that, you know, it's worked out. And beyond that, like, there's times when like you meet someone and you want to work with them, and like you push things aside. He is I'll say it again, he's the complete opposite. He's fun to hang out with, he's great to work with, and super caring, and like looks out for everyone. It's not like one of these like it never feels forced with him. Like, he's such like a easygoing, like, nice guy. So and
He's
then
one of those-
beyond, yeah.
No, I was just say he's one of those guys that, like, I didn't know too much about him before I met him, but he really is like, I was like, this guy's too nice. Like, but it's like not fake. I was like, this guy,
Right?
I was like, this guy is really, really great at what he does.
Yep.
And he's like stupidly nice to the point where I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to have a career? I'm not as good and I'm not as nice. Like, this is, and it's crazy because you see like people on Instagram and you go, this is bull. They're not like this. And I don't even know. I have no clue for most people.
Yeah.
This person's not like this. I see Teddy on Instagram, and my first instinct is always to go, there's no way this guy is like this. And then I go, wait a minute, he is. I know him. He is exactly this person. He's like,
Yep.
It's like there is no persona with him. It's just him. And I mean,
No.
maybe there's a lot of people like that, but, you know, everyone talks about how celebrities are fake, but, you know, man, Teddy, like, he's on his way up. He's got all the stuff coming out. Great music. His career blew up in such like, it just went from like 0 to 100 in like, you know, a couple months.
Yeah.
And he's one of the boys. He's the best.
He's the best. And, you know, from day one, it's almost like from day one when we hung out, like, it was like we were cousins, like we're family. Like, he's just like always looking out for me. So like we hung out in New York, and then he was like, oh, I'm coming back to New York because I'm doing my first tour. And he was doing a nationwide tour with his band. And he was like, I want your band to open for me in New York. So his first night of his tour, he, you know, reached out to me, and our band, you know, dialed.
Yes, sir.
we got to open for him, which was such an amazing experience. And he, again, like that night we hung out a bunch and we had fun, and they went on their tour. And then same thing in March, literally right when coronavirus was like blowing up and spreading everywhere. The whole team, his whole team, which is a bunch of incredibly talented people. It's amazing. But his whole team was in LA for writing sessions and to work on an album and to get all this stuff together with Warner. And again, then they invited me to come to LA and stay with them for a week to work on music, to record some videos. And unfortunately, I literally flew there and was there for 48 hours in LA.
I remember we were sitting I was eating at the Chipotle on 13th and 6th.
Yeah.
And you texted me like, where you at? And I'm like, at Chipotle, and you came over and you're like, hey, so I'm going to LA for like a week. And then I just remember you saying like, oh yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. And then I remember like literally like I saw that you left. And I remember waking up and seeing like a text in like some group chat, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm coming home. I was like, is that how fast a week is? Jeez.
Wow, yeah, it blew by, didn't it?
What are the odds? That's crazy timing that you go to LA and it's like, bam, it just like explodes.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, is like, we heard like, oh, there's some cases in New York, and our school was like, we're going to shut down for extra week. But like, it wasn't like this thing where it was like the whole world is going to stop. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to take my chances. I'll wear a mask on the plane. And I fly out there, And then as soon as I get there, like we do a little work, I recorded for one of their covers, and and we hear like that night that San Francisco is doing a shelter in place. And so we're like, damn, a shelter in place. All the restaurants then closed that day. Like you can't go anywhere type of
Oh,
deal.
like you got the news, then it was that day. It was just done.
It was like that day, like San Francisco's doing a shelter in place. So we're like, okay. Um, that probably means LA is next, was the first thought. Then it was like all these places are closed. Like you can't go to a restaurant. You can't. So we're like, oh, okay. Well, can't do anything. Then it was the writing sessions that Teddy had with all these, writers was like ixnay, because how are you supposed to write when there's this deadly virus going around? We got to a point where it was like, I was there for 2 days and we were nervous that, you know what, maybe they're going to, because at that point we had no clue, maybe they're going to shut down the airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they do, we have to quarantine for the next month. Maybe I'm stuck in LA, which honestly with those guys would be fun. But we were all just like super nervous about like what the possibility was. And
I felt that here, and I was at my house, and I felt that. So I get when you're across the country feeling that kind of stress, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I remember I was walking through. Do you remember those? I bought the pair of blue Adidas shoes that you and everyone else hated. you all made fun of me because I wanted these blue Adidas shoes.
Yeah.
And then they got canceled. Actually, at that Chipotle.
You canceled the order.
Well, no, they canceled it on me.
Yeah, good.
And it was at that same Chipotle. Man, there's like some history to it. But I remember they canceled the shoes. And so I had... Jackass. But they've canceled the shoes, and I had to reorder them. This is way too much of a backstory for this. But I was walking down J Street. I just got off the stop at J Street. And my roommate calls me, and he goes, hey, just so you know, in like 8 hours, all of the stores are going to close, and they're not opening up. I was like, yeah. What? I was like, because of this. I was like, because of this virus. And he's like, yeah, it's gonna like literally. And that was the last time. And I think I was wearing a mask just to be safe. But that was the definitive moment where I was like, oh crap, everything's about to change. And I think I talked to you that day because you were like putting on your Instagram or something about how you were in LA, and I was thinking like, man, how's he gonna get back if New York is all shut down? We didn't have any idea what was gonna happen.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing. Is we were just all kind of super super nervous for as much as it was fun and it was nice. Sorry, my camera keeps like
it's okay
flipping. As much as
there's like a 50% chance that we're not even live right now, so it's okay. I'm just kidding.
But we were just basically nervous that it wasn't going to work out. Like we wouldn't be able to get home and stuff. So
your computer just keeps falling. Sorry, I'm just laughing at your camera falling.
It keeps falling.
Well, it keeps like tilting.
Oh, does it?
Well, that's what it looked like.
Damn.
Am I tripping?
Maybe. It could be because it's literally on pillows right now. Gotta love the city setup.
The New York City. If that's not like, there are so many times where I've set stuff up and I'm like looking at what I do and I'm like, this is awful. I'm like, it would cost me $10 to do this nicer. But when you're stuck in a small apartment, you kind of just.
Exactly. I was trying to set it up and I just gotten back into the city. I was like, I don't know where to go. Everything looks bad. But here's the TV and I'm so confused. And there's a cat right there.
Okay.
And a painting.
Incredible.
And there's a microphone. There you go.
Thank you for the room tour, house tour vlog. Didn't you you did an apartment tour on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/ is it just Augie Bello or is there the underscore again?
/ Augie Bello. That's what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to these comments because I want to make sure I got everyone. If anyone, if I didn't, I thought I read the questions, all of them. If I didn't, please, if you have a new one, do it. Or if you have the old one and I missed it, please don't feel bad. Please just write it again. I was most likely fiddling with the software while you were typing, so if I missed it. Let me see. I don't see anything totally new. Someone asked, "Are you gonna play saxophone?"
I have it here. I could toot the horn.
You want to do it? You want to? Well,
Yeah, sure.
Let's try this. Whoever's listening, think of a song, and we're gonna see if Augie can play it off the top of his head.
Oh wait, let me get my horn out. I will not look at anything.
If anyone has ideas,
You're gonna pick something abstract, of course. And I'm gonna be like, meh.
Minecraft villager.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna show you something. Let me switch here real quick. I'm gonna show you something.
It
Okay.
is. Yeah. What's up?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see
Okay.
it now.
Can you see where we are?
Yeah, this is terrible Instagram. Yeah.
I wanna go through here with you because
Let's
I
do it.
wanna get the chronology because you're known for your Instagram. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I know all this stuff. See, I'll show you what I know. I know. Where is it? I know all this new stuff. I know it from like early 2019. But I want to throw all the way back pre, Augie Bello. I want you to. We're gonna do the Hot Ones deep dive on your Instagram. I want you to tell me just like. Let's see. Okay, this is really early. Oh my lord, this stuff is still here.
Yep, it's all there, dude.
Oh, it's got the old Instagram filters on it. That's incredible. Okay, wait. What year was it when you started doing the whole Instagram thing? When did that start?
February of 2018.
2018. Okay, I'm gonna try to go to that real quick. I want to
Yes,
get the first official Augie Bello video. Is anyone in the chat? What you won't? Okay.
Here, well,
I
actually,
don't-
here, right there is when I started, like right where you're at. Yeah, even that one on the bottom left.
There.
Yeah, that's like I felt like I should do some videos, but I wasn't actually invested in it. So I posted a video of me playing over at Redbone. That's
Which, see,
2000.
I can play
17.
about 2 seconds of this. Is this did you make this or is this a official instrumental?
It's an instrumental from. I'm not sure actually. I don't even remember.
I don't want to risk it because YouTube streams apparently are very
So
sus
shut it
about.
down.
They will just immediately shut it down, and I'm not. I don't want to take that risk. I'm sorry.
But yeah. So there you can see where I started to. I saw that my friend Tiana, who had just left the new school, she started posting videos on her page, and you can see like right there that video. That's not even a cover or anything. Yeah, that one.
When did she graduate? Because I never met her.
She never graduated.
Or
She was in
when did she leave?
She was in my grade, and she didn't come back for her sophomore year. Like she after freshman year,
I'm trying to do the math.
yeah, she basically just did 1 year, I believe, or even one semester. I don't even
Gotcha.
remember at this point, but I remember seeing that like she had started posting some videos, and like yeah, that's where I really started going in. But she started.
So she was your initial inspiration to start making
yeah,
videos?
because here was the thing. Like I saw that she posted some videos of her playing after she had left school, and I saw that like people were liking it a lot and sharing it, and her followers were growing like really quickly. And I was like, you know what, like, why don't I try to do what she's doing, like get some consistent content of what I do, combined with like finishing school. And it got to the point where I was just like, yeah, let me just do it. And as you can see, so like February, I don't know, like 17th or something, I decided like, oh, like if I want to do Instagram, I got to post like every day.
Yeah.
Like I have to like always give people content. And so you can see like the first week or the first week and a half, like every day there was a post. And the other thought process around that was like, if anyone thought that like I wasn't serious about posting for my page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing: if you post something really amazing, right, and people love it, but you haven't posted before that in 2 months, I'm gonna like your video. I'm gonna comment, "Wow, amazing job," and then
You're gonna leave.
I'm gonna leave because I don't expect you to post more. Maybe I'll come back to that video and I'll watch it, but I know that the last thing you posted was 2 months ago, so there's no point. So my thought process was A, maybe I need to post every day, and B is that anyone who comes to my page, maybe even if they like this video, but there's not more content and they don't see that I'm committed to it, then why are they going to invest in me if I'm not going to invest in the
Why are
platform?
why are they gonna care about you entertaining them if you're not even caring about entertaining them?
Exactly. So you could see the first week I went like hardcore and it was like every day picture videos. And then I realized, like I could do like every other day. I could do like 3 days a week. I could do 2 days a week. That's awful. Get rid of that. And and then I figured I did 2 of me a week. And it basically got to the point where I just tried to follow, like, see what was going on with trends. Like the first video that did the best was the funny video
Where
that I
was
had done, which was that one right there.
This one?
No, right down.
Oh, the yodeling. This isn't copywritten, right? There's no
No.
way. Can you hear it?
I can hear the whole thing.
Incredible. So was that the first one that really blew up for you?
That was the first one that blew up, and what I learned from that was people like saxophone. Yeah, I guess kind of. But if you can catch, if you could put something funny with that, then people, you could show that to your general, whoever.
Your grandma.
Yeah, your grandma, and they understand. Oh, it's some random kid yodeling. That's weird. And oh, this guy took the time to like transcribe it and put a beat to it. That's funny. Like I realized that there was a lot of people. Everyone loves to laugh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can incorporate that with something that maybe there's less people who love, like I might love the saxophone, but it's not like it's not like Drake.
Yeah.
Like Drake, anytime he puts anything out and anytime he talks, it's like everyone's listening. But
yeah,
like
exactly.
If the best saxophone player in the world is like playing, there's not as much of a market for just saxophone. So if I can put something funny with something I love, then it brings people in who maybe wouldn't have checked me out. So
yeah, they're kind of there for just the overall entertainment value, and the saxophone is kind of like not the side thought, but it's like the entertainment is the main thing, and the saxophone is just kind of like the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
just to get them there. It could be any instrument or anything, but it's just you got to have that overall entertainment value that can grasp people's attention. Even on Instagram, it's only for a minute at the absolute most, but unless you're right off the bat getting people entertained, they're not going to watch.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing is if I can bring people who normally wouldn't check my stuff out to my page by adding an element of comedy, why wouldn't I? And I don't know, like I know that there's so many innovative saxophone players. There's Leo P, there's Grace Kelly, who like combine dancing with saxophone, and like they're like some of the best players ever. But they found the hole in the market, which was, people love dance, people love sax, but like, why don't we put that together? And then once you put that together, now you have two markets that you've just brought together. And for me, like, it was like, what can I do that's not being done? And it was, over time, it became comedy mixed with saxophone. And that's when the phone started. And
where was it? Yeah, because there was the whole, because now, I mean, nowadays it's like half of your comments are, where's Judy, where's Barbara? But when did that really start? Because there was a period of time, for a decent period of time, where those people, I guess I can't say didn't exist, but like no one, it's like before those characters were well known, and that was at least a year, right? If I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that was a year ago. So you can find the first video is the pepperoni pizza video.
Pepperoni
So
pizza. Let me switch to this camera view. There we go. Everyone can see everything now. Um,
so
oh wait, is
my
this? Oh, here's "You're the Reason," your
that's the other
debut
reason.
single.
That's right. I had
Incredible
around like
song.
8,000 followers then. That's a terrible.
Why is this one terrible?
No, it's pretty funny, I guess. I mean, I play first shot, but I make money on track. I love that shirt and that jacket.
Do you still have that
Uh,
jacket?
of course I do.
I wish I had a jacket like that. I do have
It's
a nice.
great.
I have a Ralph Lauren leather jacket. Yeah, I
There
don't know
you
if you've
go.
seen it. It's like it's basic. It's not. It's not long. It's just a regular one. Wait, let me read these comments real quick. Carl, respond any John Mayer song or Wes Montgomery.
Oh, I got you.
Well, wait. Let's see if he can. Let's see if Carl name a song. Name a John Mayer and a Wes Montgomery. And while you're
Alright.
at it, Augie, just and what the hell, just do it anyway, Augie. Play some John Mayer or Wes Montgomery or both at the same time.
West Montgomery. I don't know about that one.
John Montgomery.
Here, wait. I'm gonna lower my mic because I see it.
Was that? No, I mean, oh, are you clipping in your thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get coffee while you do this. Let's see. Will I get? Do you think I'll get taken off for this?
What does it say?
No,
Oh, me playing Gravity.
do you think I'm just starting to think now? Can YouTube, does that have the ability to do that?
I
Because
hope
they
not.
now, you know what they have now? That's absolutely incredible. That I did not know they had until I got a video.
What?
Sorry, I'm checking my coffee machine to make sure it didn't shut off yet. They can sense images now. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe they could before, and I didn't know. But you can put on something completely muted, and they'll tell you exactly where it's from. Because the software they use to analyze the sound, they can now analyze the video. So basically,
Wow.
if you have something that they don't want, you're screwed. Which is basically all the time.
Yep, that's crazy.
How's
Crazy,
Instagram
crazy.
with that kind of stuff? Do you have problems with copyright on Instagram ever?
Instagram is super weird. Honestly, Instagram you can't talk to anyone. So let's say you're having a problem, your posts aren't getting to anyone. You can't talk to anyone. Copyright every once in a while it'll say, like I've had posts where it's like this is copywritten, you can't post it. And other times they'll try to mute part of the audio. But sometimes if you're using copyrighted audio or even like a copywritten song that you're covering, they'll just not show it to as many people. So it's almost like a shadow ban type of deal.
Which is worse because then you don't have anything to like pinpoint.
The worst thing for me is like, just tell me. Like if there's content I'm making that you're not liking, if there's like something about what I'm doing that is against your
Bad.
terms or like, or whatever, like I'm totally cool. I'll adapt to that. Like that's what I like to do, you know? But they make it like impossible to ever talk to someone. So like I've reached out a couple times because like if you check like a year ago, like my posts on the Insight, you could see that it used to reach much more of my followers. So it's now at a point where like it's harder for my followers to see it and it's harder to be seen on hashtags and the explore page. So their algorithm's kind of strange. And I've tried reaching out to them, but we're at a time right now where like I'd like to look into other different platforms, but TikTok is like the closest, but TikTok is on rocks right now, and who knows?
What is it up to right now? Is it just because the deal was made? They just had to wait for the Chinese government to approve it, correct?
No,
I mean,
but
do you know?
Something just changed apparently where they want TikTok to release all control over it.
There's not a
No,
chance. They're not going to do it.
So right now it's still like one of those things where it might be here and it might not. So I'm just kind of waiting. I actually just contacted Instagram because they introduced this new thing called badges,
Hmm.
where you can go live and you can, people can pay you, um, send you some money for your live stream. But then I got a message saying that I'm ineligible because my content doesn't fit the guidelines. So
Which is
it's one of the,
strange because you're not like edgy.
I'm
It's
not,
not like
yeah,
it's not like a Joe Rogan situation where like, certain people are
exactly.
coming on and people are getting upset. It's just it's music. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, so sometimes their algorithms have errors and they detect something that they think might be blah, blah, blah. But there's no human actually saying, oh, no, this content fits our guidelines. There's just a robot. There's just a computer program that's determining for them. Because realistic, to play to devil's advocate, um, how could you have someone sit all day and just go through content all day? They have to
it's
see.
impossible.
It's not possible, especially when like there's millions and millions of things being posted every day.
I mean, YouTube has been around since 2006, I think, and they're still. I will say, YouTube has. They were basically you could do whatever you want on it, and then they had like this, dark age where it was like you couldn't do anything, and now they're
Yeah,
kind of coming out of that. And I will say that they've in that the period of time they've been around so much longer than I think they've been. When did Instagram start? Instagram didn't start till like at least probably 2010, right? Something like that.
I think it's
Um,
2012, if I'm
Well,
right.
if that's it, then there's an extra 6 years that YouTube has, and YouTube nowadays is pretty good about it in terms of they'll tell you what it is. You'll get an email and it will say this is what it's going to do to your channel. This is exactly what's going to happen to this particular video, and the seconds that it is, they'll say like it was 9 seconds to 15 seconds. If you think it's wrong or you have the rights or
Then
it's
you
like
can
or
talk
it's
to
like
someone.
yeah, you can send it straight to the person who copyright claims it, and if they don't do it in 30 days, it's they get rid of the whatever strike is on the video.
Well, yeah,
So
that's
it's a good thing that they've gotten to. And I think Instagram just has to. They haven't been around long enough to
yeah,
have that kind of renaissance of good copyright law and
yeah.
automation for the
I
algorithm.
mean, that's the thing. Like, so it's saying for me to achieve badges, I got this message. I'll tell you exactly what it says. It says, um, you're not eligible to turn on badges. As part of our effort to make Instagram safe and welcoming for everyone, accounts that turn on badges must follow Instagram's partner monetization policies and content monetization policies. There was never a time where I received a notification like, "Oh, your video has copywritten music. Oh, your video was deemed inappropriate," which literally they're all just saxophone and like
Also,
comedy videos.
there's nothing you've done that is in any way or like is outwardly disrespectful or rude to anybody. So I don't get
Yeah.
why it's not like
So,
you're, doing anything that could really
yeah.
offend someone.
The biggest issue I have is like if there is something that like you're determining is, even if your algorithm determines it, like I'd love to know like what the issue is. So because like I'm not looking for an issue. I want people to see my content. I want, the algorithm to be happy. Like just let me know what it is so that I will stay away from that content and stuff. So I've just been trying to figure out, how to navigate that. I contacted them to see like what's up and why I can't apply for badges or like my account's ineligible. So we'll see with that. It's just a lot harder to like any type of issue that you're having it's much harder to reach an actual person. Like you have to like, and I haven't in all my time. Like there's times where I've like reported like, hey, my content's not reaching like my followers, and like, hey, it's not showing up on hashtags and stuff, and I can't hear back from anyone, which is
Yeah.
super, 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 super frustrating, and honestly makes me want to leave the platform.
Because then you're
Like
left guessing. Then you're left
you,
going, wait a minute, how am I supposed to make anything if
yeah,
they won't even tell me what they're taking off?
exactly, and it comes to a point where it's like now, like a year ago, I had about half the amount of followers, right? So if a year ago I had half the amount of followers, why is it that my engagement, like people who saw it from my homepage, was like triple, quadruple the amount of what's happening now, which is I have double the amount of followers, so it should have doubled. If there's something in the algorithm detecting that something, like some of my content, they don't like, then it's so frustrating for me to like work for hours on content that like just doesn't get to people. So honestly, their lack of like customer service and like being helpful like motivates me to just kind of leave the platform and not like stop creating content, but like just create it elsewhere, because like the whole point is to grow a business and to get to people. And then if at the same point they won't let you get to any of the people that you've just grown, of course it's their platform, they could do what they want, but that's, of course, I'm the person creating content for it, so I can do what I want and I can leave. So
it's one of those things where it's like, it's just annoying that you can't, because if they just said, you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, you could at least work your way around it.
Of course.
But it's the guessing, because then you say, like, especially now, every minute that you spend doing something can be spent doing something else. And when you're trying to make a living just out of, your senior year of college, you can't be wasting time on something and not knowing if people are going to see it. Not because you're growing of course you're always working your way up, but when you have a built-in audience like you do, it's a shame that you can't say, you know what, if I do this, I know that maybe people won't, I don't know what the reception is going to be, but at least the yada, yada, yada people, the amount of people that I know are following me are at least going to see it in the right percentage of what, they normally see it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a guessing game where, oh, I have 100 followers and sometimes 2 people see my video and sometimes it gets blown up. But when you have, tens of thousands of followers, you should know within a reasonable margin that a certain amount of people are going to see it.
Exactly. And I mean, not to jump on a tangent, but like if I check right now, just to give you an example, not that I'm just like being like, oh, why aren't people seeing my stuff? We'll go to a video from the other day. So I posted this video the other day of me playing with Teddy for his birthday. Happy birthday. From home, it says I got 11,000 impressions. I don't know if anyone can see that, but from home, it says 11,000 impressions. Now, right now, I have 61,700 followers, right? So let's scroll all the way back to let's go back to a year ago, right? When I didn't have 61,000. What is it? It's October, so October of 2019. Let's look. And I'm telling you, when it's not even close. So one of my videos, October from 2019, home is 29,450 from homepage. That's the impressions. It's 29,450. And we can do that with all my videos. This one, which is me dressed as Kenny G playing, from homepage. That's a great
video.
40,000 impressions, right? So that's a better video. Naturally, more people will see it. The one after that, 36,000 impressions from home. It's like not even in the same. It's like 2/3 less, basically. And I've doubled the amount of followers. So it's like I'm working towards getting to a place where more people can see my stuff, but Instagram's making it so less people can see my stuff. So it's just, honestly, it's kind of frustrating, but we'll see what happens. I reached out to them, and if I don't hear back, then I'm motivated to test some other options. YouTube, TikTok, if TikTok's still going to be around. And yeah, TikTok will pay people for their content. So it's one of those things.
No, TikTok is, it's definitely a good platform right now. I've as soon as it started really blowing up, I always was curious what will end up reigning supreme, because it could be like one of those things where everyone thought Instagram was dead when Vine existed.
Yeah.
And Instagram just kept kind of improving themselves, and then they ended up, ripping off, Vine, and they killed it and they did a better job. So Instagram won fairly. But now the thing is, it's like TikTok is doing this great thing and Instagram has their version of it with Reels.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it seems like Instagram is like kind of punching themselves in the face with all the new things they're doing, like the things you're talking about,
Yeah.
and also removing views, which I don't know many people who really want to remove views, because part of the fun of watching a video is going, oh my God, 400,000 people saw this. That's incredible. I can do this, or I should do this, or all that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's kind of the funniest to me is like Instagram has this facade of like we care how people feel, which I truly think is a facade. So Instagram will say something like, we care about how people feel, and we think that if you have likes and views on your video, and someone else sees that, or you see that someone has a lot of likes and views, then you compare themselves and you can get depressed, and it can cause a lot of things. I understand that to an extent. For me, it's a little different because like for me, seeing someone who's been able to achieve a certain amount of likes, a certain amount of views means like, oh, if I work hard and create content that's similar to that, or like if I try to do what they're doing, it's possible I can reach that goal. So for me, it's kind of different, but I understand the sentiment there. You can compare yourself and it could be really harmful, and people will get depressed. That's awful. Like that's terrible. But at the same time, you cannot tell people that you care about the feelings of your users, and you care about, self-esteem, when like someone who's my career is like creating videos and creating content for Instagram. You're not showing it to my followers. So like maybe someone doesn't know you're not showing it to my followers now because you've disabled their ability to see how many likes and views I've gotten. But now I know that you're not showing people that I've earned by creating content.
So why am I going to keep creating content on here?
So why am I going to keep creating content? And also like if you care, like self-esteem, like if we want to hop in that one, like spending hours and hours and hours creating a video and creating content, like just to see it not get to people would hurt your self-esteem, because it's like
100%.
And it hurts your business because like, hey, now like I couldn't grow my business from this because no one was able to see it.
And now that all music business is online now,
Exactly. And then it gets to a point where it's like you feel like your day was wasted because you spent all day like creating something for people to see and no one can see it. So I think I honestly think it's really funny when they're like, we care so much about like the feelings of people, but like at the same time, you're creating a bigger problem by not like showing people the content. And there's one thing if like you don't show people content and you tell the creator, like tell me like if there's something about my content that doesn't work with Instagram's guidelines but it's a secret. So tons of accounts, people I know like will get shadow banned, and it's like, what did I do? I don't know. Maybe you did this. Maybe you did that. Instagram probably doesn't like when you like, just tell me. Like, I'm totally fine with you having the rules up the wazoo. But if you don't let me know what those rules are, and then you penalize me for not following them, it's like
at least give me the 10 commandments before you send me to hell.
Exactly, dude. And it, honestly, like that'll get really frustrating because like that's where I built my career is like the reason I felt comfortable graduating college was because like I'd spent the time to like build an audience on Instagram and like, create content, and if they want to make it hard for me, then like there's tons of other platforms which like encourage creators and like push content, which I found with TikTok. Like if TikTok sees a video is doing well, it's not like you have to have the followers,
they'll put it in people's faces.
Yep, they'll plaster it on the For You page and like make sure people see it. So if TikTok ends up being solidified and it's not going anywhere, then I'll do both. I mean, what I've been doing lately is I'll just I'll create something for TikTok and I'll post it on Instagram because it just doesn't make sense for me if I can't get it resolved and figure out what their issue is. So it's a whole weird thing, and like it literally, if I were listening to this, I'd be like, wow, like shut up, he's complaining. Like, but it's frustrating. Like
talking about the internet, and that's
oh my god, he's always talking about this Instagram. Like I don't know why he wants someone to be a grandma so fast, but I don't. the Instagram.
Thanks for the explanation.
But yeah, it's and a lot of creators are feeling this, so don't think it's like.
No, I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say I get it because I'm making content for 10 people. You know what I mean? I'm not making content for 60,000. But I will say this, that it is really frustrating, especially when I'm trying to grow especially when I was all last summer, I was making Instagram videos every day. I was working on some, and they're stupid. It's not like I'm creating, the next, I'm not Shakespeare. I'm making like the dumbest stuff, but I was working really hard on it. And it would happen like I would work on this thing and I would put all this, I'd be like, oh, this is really good. And you post it and it would be like, yeah, you didn't, even though you did very similar hashtags to the last video and the same amount, you're doing 30 hashtags. It's just, we're going to show it to like way less people. And then I would do some other video and I'd be like, this isn't, I don't know about this. Yeah. And then it gets, way more views than any of my other ones. Yeah. It's like how that, but you know what? Maybe that's just like how it is in general. Cause that's how releasing music is. And that's how it was way before the internet.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like the way I think of it is like, imagine like telling everyone, right? Like building this audience and then saying, I'm going to have a pop-up show and it's going to be here, but I'm not going to tell you the time. And then like when you, and then only like,
I think that's what David Blaine did for his ascension.
I know, right? I'm going to fly and I'm going to ascend into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and it's going to be crazy.
This was David Blaine. Okay. This is David Blaine. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off on this for a second. He was just like, yeah, so I'm gonna go up into the holding on to balloons, and I'm gonna hold on to them, and they're gonna fly, and they're gonna take me up, and this is gonna be crazy, it's gonna take me up, Have you ever watched him talk? That's exactly how he talks. Yeah, he always talks like he's really. I mean, this is shout out. David Blaine's one of the coolest people in the world. Yeah. I love him to absolute death. Yeah. And then he'll go like this. Then he'll do something like this. Let's see if this is in the shot. It's the cars. They go like that. And then he just goes. And then he just walks away. Wasn't that a great tangent? Look at that. Grazie.
But yeah. There's no point in complaining. It's just like figure it out. If it's not working, go somewhere else and tell whoever you can that you're somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And it's YouTube's a good platform, I would say. You said earlier that you're thinking about trying YouTube. Yeah. YouTube's really good because I would say this. Now, maybe this is a controversial opinion on YouTube. Yeah. Don't know if I'm gonna, I don't want to get like trouble from TikTok, but I happen to believe that one viewer on YouTube, one subscriber on YouTube is worth like 10 on Insta or TikTok. Yeah. Because on Instagram you go, oh, I'm like, how many people do you know are subscribed to 1,000 people on YouTube? Yeah. Not many. But right. How many people do you know that are following 1,000 people on Instagram? Yep. A lot of people, because you follow your friends. And so you're more likely to say, oh, I'll follow this person. And so, but it means less because you're just okay with having 1,000 followers. But when someone says, I really like what this person does, there's no social media aspect to it. It's just, I like what this person makes. That subscriber means a lot more.
You're right.
The thing is on YouTube, you don't really blow up anymore. You kind of, and that's just what I've noticed from seeing people do it and seeing like these new channels is that back in the day when YouTube was new, it was like, I was young, but I remember it. Yeah. It's like you'd see these people go from like 1,000 subscribers to like, 50,000 subscribers in a couple weeks or something crazy like that.
Some viral prank.
Yeah, exactly. And that does happen still, but that's really where TikTok is right now, is that blowing up thing, is where you can go from like Addison Rae or like Charli D'Amelio were just people, they were just girls. And then in a couple weeks, they're like millions of followers. And that's what TikTok is for. It's going from 0 to 100 really fast. And YouTube's kind of like that thing where it's like, maybe that won't happen anymore, but every follower you get, every subscriber you get is really there to see what you do. Yeah. And so it's going to mean more, and people like Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio can come to YouTube and then bring all those people and they have 40 million subscribers or followers that they got in a year, and then that whittles down to 3 million or 5 million really loyal subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's what I think YouTube's for.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like you could see on TikTok, TikTok,
Tick clock.
tick clock on the clock.
Continue.
You gotta love Kesha, but you can see that like the followers doesn't translate as much to views on TikTok. So like someone can blow up like this, but it's harder for each of those videos to do well. So it's every platform has its good things and its downsides.
Yeah.
So just figuring it out, navigating it.
Yeah.
Instagram was a great place for me for like, I would say a solid 2 years before it started to like slow down and like get to a point where it's like, I'm still constantly making content for Instagram. Don't get me wrong, but it becomes a little less fun when you know that like, it's not going to reach what it used to. Like, not that it's not going to reach more people. It's not going to even reach what it used to at like half the amount of what I had.
So it's like it's not like you instead of working your way up, you're like working your way back to where you were.
Exactly. Like I'm trying to get back at a point where like I was, but it's not like I'm making similar content, and like some of the content is even like much better, and people who see it. So like if you check the views to likes ratio, it's great. If you check the views to the comment ratio, it's great. So people are loving the content, people are liking the content, but it's not getting so it's not getting to people. So it's harder for people to like that content and like share it because they're not seeing it on their feeds. And I've had lots of people on lives be like, "Oh, where have you been?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been posting like every other day." So
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I can't wait to hear back from them and hear what they have to say. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. So
let's hope for the best.
We'll hope for the best.
I'm gonna hit the comments before we log off. I want to hit the comments and make sure I didn't miss anything, because for people who are watching, I want to keep these streams very interactive. I apologize if today I wasn't totally keeping a good eye on it, because I'm right now I'm trying to. I mean, oh, I just switched to the wrong camera trying to stand up. I can't. Wait,
yeah, I got you.
Right about...
I got you. Ready? Uh-oh. I'm getting a phone call. I'm hanging
Judy.
up the phone call.
It's Barbara. That was perfect.
No one's gonna know what we're doing.
Yeah, no one's gonna understand that. Everyone go check out Ed Bassmaster on YouTube and Instagram. He's incredible.
Every once in a while, I gotta kick dirt on someone just so that they know.
Just so they know. Do it to Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see real quick. Let's go down these comments. Okama Bach says, "Do you guys know? I've never learned how to pronounce this last name. Let me make sure I'm gonna get it wrong. Is it Mark Riblet or Riblet? You know what I'm talking about?
I love that guy.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but my buddy Isaac Okama Bach says, "Do you know him? We know him. I don't."
I absolutely love him, and honestly, I wish I could hop into that sort of type of content, because it's certainly edgy, but it's so funny, and like and his beats and his grooves and stuff are really, really, really cool. So I'd love that'd be awesome if I could collaborate with him. Maybe I'll reach out to him and see. But
so you've never talked to him before?
No, but I'd love to reach out to him and see, because I feel like as much as like on camera he's a lot crazier than me, I feel like we have like similar energy in terms of like just trying to like cheer people's day up and like bring something funny to the table.
Yeah, I totally get you. Let's see. A lot of the comment section is people when I asked if the stream was good, so I have to weed that out. Let's see. There was a question early on. Let's see if we can tie it in. The JS Quad family asked, what was your market plan to get yourself out there? They asked if busking was an idea, how to build your audience, reach out to people, email. What was like your basic plan? So
the basic plan was Instagram, right? So when I started, it was all about um, let me post consistent content to this platform and see if I can grow it like my friend did. My friend Tiana would post content like every couple days, and like her page really blew up. So I was like, all right, if I could build an audience from Instagram, then I can post music and people will check it out. Like I'll put out music and people will check it out. And then in addition to that was busking, 100%. So I used to busk, which is street performing for some of you guys who don't know that word, because I didn't know what it meant, honestly, until recently. But whenever I would street perform, I would put a sign up that had my Instagram. So I'd tie it together. So you saw me in the street and you loved me, like, you're not going to forget about me now. And I'm going to make sure you don't, because when you follow me, I'll make sure that like I'm letting you know about my shows that are nearby you. I'll be posting more content. You already liked me in person, so you want to know what I'm doing online. So I basically tied those two together and would encourage people to follow me there, so that, because you never want them to feel like they don't know what's going on with you. You always want to be in their face. Like even when they're not thinking about you, like you want to come up on their feed and they'd be like, oh yeah. And then, maybe they're with some friends. Oh, like, yeah, I saw him in person and he was doing this and that and that. So I think it's important to always promote your social media when you are street performing, or even when you're performing. Like, make sure that people won't forget about you, because you can have a killer performance one day and then the next day people are talking about you. The next day, maybe they're still talking about you. A week later, you're not at the top of the conversation. A month later, maybe if someone brings it up, you'll talk about it. But if you're constantly seeing that person on your page, oh, check out this thing they just posted. Oh, they just put out a song. I just saw this. So it builds excitement around like them always being able to see what you're doing. So
yeah, there's like a psychological thing about it takes 7 interactions with something for someone to notice. Or I think that I'm phrasing this poorly. Let me see if I can find that. I'm gonna switch to Chrome real quick. Let's see. 7 interactions for a mind to notice. I don't know. That's probably wording it really poorly. I wish I could remember what it was. I was talking to this incredible studio in upstate New York, where I'm from, and it's called Big Blue North, and incredible people there. Like they are like the best. The people who run that studio, and they were talking about how.
Is someone being murdered in your apartment?
It is. Can you hear that? Yeah, actually.
So it's just like.
It's a motorcycle. There's a lot of people who drive like non-street dirt bikes, like dirt bikes. And
I got you.
There's like whole crews of people that just drive around on dirt bikes, like up and down the sidewalk, doing wheelies.
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
I've never seen someone fall, which surprises me, because they're doing like the wheelies where they're like straight up and down.
Yeah,
they do it all the time. But yeah, my window is facing the main avenue.
There you go.
So that's where the sound is coming from. I have a mute button on my mic in case that kind of stuff happens. But it's very it's not predictable. Wait.
Yeah, but what were you saying before?
I was just saying. Yeah, there's something about that. Like, if you're gonna release an album, make sure you can split it up into 7 ways that someone will notice it, which might be 3 music videos, 3 singles, and then the album. Or just find a way that you can do 7 different ways for each thing you create, or for some, if you can, because it takes those 7 things for someone to really like register what they're doing. And sometimes people see a video and they subscribe. Sometimes it takes a while, and a lot of the times it takes apparently 7 interactions with that thing for someone to really like have it ingrained in their memory. I'm probably butchering this. I don't remember exactly what it was. I wish I could find it, but I don't see anything.
No, but that's interesting. There's a lot of people who, when they're releasing an album, that they will every 6 weeks drop a single leading up to the album. So they'll do like
Joji was doing that.
Yeah,
and his album just came out on Friday.
Yeah, and what that does is it's like, ooh, I like this. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, and then when you drop the album, they've already heard 6 of those songs, so it's not a huge undertaking. It's not like, oh, I love Joji, but like there's 12 songs and that's gonna take me forever. Like months and months before you've heard the first track, you've heard the sixth track, you've heard this. So now it's just there's 6 new tracks that you're already excited to listen to instead of like seeing it as like a task of like,
Yeah,
oh, I
now I
love
gotta get this
Joji.
whole album.
Yeah. So that's a cool tactic. But yeah, I think the most important thing is just always making sure that people know you're still working and always giving people new things, to check out.
Just let them know you're there.
Let them know you're there.
Oh, Mr. Augie Bello.
Mr.
We've talked about a lot.
Madonier.
We've talked about a lot.
We have.
We've hopefully been live for an hour and 47 minutes. I'm gonna have to go back after this and see how much of it we lost in the process. But
I was trying to watch the live, but it was awful.
Real quick on that note.
Yeah.
That accent we were talking about it earlier. Where does that really? It's just a Long Island accent, right? Is there any particular person, or is it just a raw, just Long Island?
Yeah. So I was born in Long Island, and basically, people would like there would be these mothers who thought they were 20, but like they happened to be 50. Oops.
Oops.
Oops. So like
I'm only 30 years off.
I'm so close. I thought at age 50, I thought at age 30 they started going in reverse. But anyway, there's a bunch of these mothers who it's like everything's like this, everything's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, that's interesting. That surely is interesting. But they were always very like. Of course, not every mother in Long Island was obnoxious, but there were so many mothers that you would hear them. Oh my God, I can't believe this and that. and all they're talking about is like that the dress was maybe like an inch too long, but somehow it sounded like someone died.
It's the end of the world.
The world is over. Oh my God, Jessica tried on the dress and she almost stepped on the front. Would you believe that? It's like, yeah, I can believe it. Jessica's 6'10". Of course, she's gonna.
Yeah, it's always minute things that they're overreacting about.
Yeah, so like,
and that's where the whole Judy and Barbara thing comes from.
That's the whole Judy and Barbara. It's like these people complaining about something that's like what, or like, huh? Like, is that really an issue? Like the people who like everything's good, so like I have to find something. Like, what am I gonna do? Just be happy all the time?
Why would you want to do that? That sounds miserable. Being happy, that's miserable. What am I supposed to complain about?
Oh, I wore my Louboutins once, and guess what? The bottom's not all red anymore. It's like, okay. And are you hungry? No, I ate a good meal. Oh, and do you have a house?
I ate at Bagel Boss.
Yes, Bagel Boss. I love Bagel Boss. But it's like, wait, so you love your family? You have a nice house? You have a nice car, and I get it. That's why you're complaining about. That's why you're complaining about that your hair was cut 2 centimeters, a little too short, and now you're gonna have to maybe style it slightly different. And
it's a great answer.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong? Type of deal. Yeah, but that's
what a backstory.
Yeah.
And the names are just like, did you make it up before you did the first Judy and Barbara video? Was it like, I'm going to call this character Judy or Barbara? Or is it just like you were just doing stuff and it just came out?
I was basically just doing stuff. I mean, and those were like typical like Long Island mom names that I could think of. It's just like, oh, hi, Judy. There's another one, Susan.
Susan.
It's like, it's just Susan. It's Susan. But like people in Long Island, oh my God, my great friend Susan. Like you just gotta add.
There's an accent mark over the S.
Yeah, you gotta add sauce to sauce. Oh, you gotta add sauce.
You got the gravy.
You gotta add like some sort of like fanciness to everything you say.
Yeah. And then complain about your Louboutins.
And then complain that your Louboutins are now...
My Louboutins are beige. They were supposed to be red.
I have Beigetons now.
Beigetons.
Oh my gosh. Oh God, I can't make that joke.
Oh, no, stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. Augie Bello, you are the absolute man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for doing it.
And
I
make
appreciate
sure
it
you
so much.
Louboutin.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
man.
my Lanta.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Augie Bello,
thank you so much, Mr. Scotty Madonia.
I love you to death. You are the man.
Give him a follow. This is the start of a whole slew of content. Right?
Let's hope.
I'm
Let's
so
hope.
excited, dude.
Well,
It's
it
gonna
all
be great.
depends on if someone else will do this show afterward.
Yeah, guys, just don't subscribe. No one's
gonna come on next. Here's the thing. I'm worried. Like I was like, if I can't really pitch a thing to people and say, hey, would you come be a guest on my thing? It's a Zoom thing. If I don't have an episode, but now I'm worried that they'll watch it and they'll be like, oh, now I'm definitely not doing it.
They're like, oh yeah, I guess his guests are like this. I don't want to be associated.
Yeah, it's gonna be a suburban mother from Long Island is my next guest.
I was going to do the show and then I saw that he had this Augie Bello, whose content is shadow banned on Instagram for good reason, I'll tell you that. It's just so much saxophone. And saxophone sounds like something else, I'll tell you, which is a little suggestive.
I don't like it.
I don't like that, so I don't want to see it, and we should get rid of it forever. So that's terrible. And
well, let's hope that people will actually want to be on this live stream sometime in the future.
Of course they will do.
Thank you everybody for watching. Augie Bello. Go check him out on Instagram. He's the man.
Thank you.
I'll see you next time, if there is one. Peace off.
Wow. Wow.